fan of your work, as you will soon come to see when we start talking. I'm happy that I'm doing this with you because you're an actor that I've been watching for years, over 10 years, watching you on stage and then seeing you make transition to TV and then to film. And even though we've had the opportunity to work together, it doesn't ever escape me that you are my senior. And that's not a thing that I'm saying out of tradition or whatever, but when someone leads by example, you have to honor that.
It's too early to get emotional. I'm begging in the name of God.
I'm not spitting facts though. Should we play?
Let's play.
Yeah, let's play. I have a couple of questions here I want to ask you. So they'll just quick. Let's play this game. You are safe, don't worry. I mean, you are safe. Literally, you are safe.
I believe you. No
Believe
worry.
me. It's just this or that. Just pick. I'll give you two options. Just pick one. The first one is even very easy. Rum or whiskey?
Whiskey all day long,
Although I'm a rum guy though.
bro.
I'm a rum guy. I'm a rum guy.
So for me, rum is the taste. No anything that has sugar in it. Nah, I don't do.
Whiskey, yeah.
Whiskey, yeah? All day long, bro. All day long.
I know this.
Brewed for the strong.
All right, let's talk playwrights. Olarotimi or Soyinka?
Soyinka.
Why?
I'd say this, and I take it from Rotimi, as Olarotimi. Because in terms of the Yoruba cosmology, Yoruba dwells on it, and Yoruba speaks Yoruba. He writes Yoruba in English.
Which is beautiful.
Do you understand?
Understand.
It's like I don't care how you say, but I'm going to write how I want you to say it. Now, Olarotimi will write and want the entire world to understand. Okay, I heard you're willing first as rumor.
He's simple.
Death came calling. Who does not know his rasp of
Don't
rings?
start showing off now.
Do you understand? So,
again,
you can tell. He said, and he made a rapid dialogue with his legs. Oh, best say sorrow. These are not the idioms and metaphors we see in Rotimi's works. And because I'm a Yoruba man, and I also love Yoruba cosmology, I'd go with, of course, Soyinka.
We're going to talk about that Yoruba part. Is a major thing we're going to discuss today anyway, but I mean, nice. I mean, either way, I like Rotimi because I like how he writes dialogue so casually. He writes the language of a layman.
True.
Soyinka, I mean, we respect his poetics. But for some people, they can be quite difficult to take in. If you don't understand poetry, you can't get Soyinka.
So now, that's...
Because you go to school.
No, so no, because no school matter.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, now because I understand my language.
Oh, there's that.
So it's like, in vain your bangles cast charm circled at my feet. I'm a Buka calling for the first time,
And then you
repeated
flip that into
times.
Yoruba, and then it's...
Yorubani, that he wrote in English.
Very.
Now, if you're not
Conversant or deep
in
versed
Yoruba,
in Yoruba,
you would think that it is hard to understand.
Yeah,
In vain
oh,
your
yeah.
bangles cast charm circled at my feet. What does it mean? Is that chalk? Circle what that they put their Buka in to do the charm. Now you have to understand where it's coming
you have to
from.
know the culture.
That's it.
And that's important, Sha.
That's it.
That's very important. OAU or UI?
None of the above.
Why?
So I'm going to tell you why. Because I have a first-hand experience of these things.
Okay.
How, before I went to LASU, I was already learning theatre from NCAC, National Art and Culture. So, and going to LASU in 2003 for diploma, I hear people say, if you don't go to UI or OAU, you're not doing theatre. And in my mind, I'm like, I don't even have to go to LASU or go to any school. What I learn
On the streets.
because this work is craft. It is what we fail to understand. It is craft.
Yeah.
And for craft, you don't have to go to
Four
school.
walls.
You can learn it. It's like mechanic or tailoring. You can learn these things
practical.
off school. But it's important for us to have that formal knowledge or education of,
theory, the history.
the to go to school. That's why I said I'd rather like go to learn and have a full knowledge of what I'm doing than choose all these cliches about UI or OAU. And then, God so good, we went for a competition in 2000, Nuka Fest 2005.
What year?
No, Nuka Fest 2005, right,
Okay.
the first time. And they brought their pay. Long story, let's leave it. No, I'd rather just go and learn.
But you know what? I can't remember the year, but I remember going to see Nutaf. They showed that, was it National Theatre? I even went to see it. And last
The one they brought here.
Lasso killed it, man. Oh, that everything was tight.
So let me give you a backstory to that. You know how we live in past glory? Now, at some point, even though I don't think it's like that anymore, and nobody can beat me for saying the truth, last week they had the best. You know why? Because the same people who went to UI, who went to Ife, who went to Ilorin, some of them ABU, we had those core groups of lecturers in Lasso. So they brought in all those knowledge, they brought in all those experiences, coupled with people who are street learners, like people like me, who have gone to the street, who've gone to the theater to learn and all that, bringing all of that together, giving us that formal, there's no way, you go show.
Yeah.
So over time now, the same thing that happened to those schools where, you know, there's need for update, there's need for...
That's across the board anyway.
You get the same things happening to National because I think that there's a need for that. We've learned about the Grotowskis of this world, Bertolt Brecht, the Stanislavski, but I think that there's a need for new
voices,
writing, something that what's it? Lekon Balogun was doing it. Lekon Balogun is doing it now. You know, that they're doing new writing.
I have goosebumps just mentioning those
new writing.
Yeah, new voices.
New voices, new technique.
Yeah.
Like someone was asking me a couple of days ago, that what is method acting?
But who asked you first of all?
Don't worry. So I said, go and type the word method, look for the meaning. When you understand that method means there's a process, a way of doing, then we can have a conversation. I won't tell you I'm a method actor anymore because there are a lot of method actors.
No, but I've seen some of your work. I'll get into that soon, Sha.
No, I'm saying anymore because there are a lot of method actors. Now, over time, over time, because of what we've been taught in school, you know, you get stuck with certain ideologies, with certain kind of belief. Unfortunately, it doesn't fly like that anymore. Now, if you do theater for street, as in that we do, you can't go school, can't come outside again.
That's double.
Don't say there's a difference between town and gown.
Oh yeah, that's the word, town and gown.
Yeah.
Town and gown. Yeah. Okay. I know you have 3 dogs right now.
Yeah.
Pick Tyson or Lagata.
Lagata.
Why? Is it a male or a female? First
Lagata is female. But I'll tell you why.
Okay, why?
So Lagata was not originally my dog. I adopted her.
Oh.
Yeah. And you see, for a dog person like me, everybody doesn't like Lagata. So if you tell Lagata, sit down, she will not listen to you. But when she sees me, and I say, sit, she sits. When she's backing at everyone, and I come and say, stop, she stops. So there's that feeling of, because people don't like me. I don't know what she sees, I don't know how it is. But I'm telling you the truth, even my vet does not like her.
Did I meet her when I came to your house?
Yes, you did. She was the one on that's why I kept her alone.
Wait, on this side or this side?
On this side.
Oh.
You know, it was Tyson and Venus we met.
Yes.
On the other side, the black ones.
Okay.
She is Brindo.
Okay.
You know, so I of course I picked Lagata. Not because of any, I mean, I don't
That name
want
is
my
interesting. So what was the name about?
So it's from Game of Thrones.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of Game of Thrones, unfortunately. Omotola or Genevieve? So
I'm going to say this. I'm going to say I'm Genevieve. I'm going to tell you one stupid reason why.
Okay.
I had a crush on her when I was growing up.
Didn't we all?
And over time, I think that she's someone who, having read through her work, some of the things she's done, having read her story, I think she's someone who actually stood the test of time. It doesn't matter what you did when you were trying to rise. It doesn't matter who did what to you.
I hear you.
Because trust me, I mean, I started going to Winnie's in 1997. So I could see her, even though I couldn't talk to her, you get. So, but she stood it. And you can actually just this thing about her. I mean, I see that resilience that I have in her. And I see that caution and cautiousness of, you know what?
Yeah.
I beg, if you don't make mistake, let me not make more.
I hear you.
I'm not saying that a mother doesn't have that. I'm just saying that if you ask me any day, anytime, it's Jennifer.
You know, someone told me, don't ask what's in me, don't pitch two women against each other. I'm like, it's not that deep.
A mother is an amazing person.
Yeah.
I mean, I've not met her personally.
Well, I worked with her for marrying me.
Yeah. I've not met her personally, but I know I've heard good stuff. I've not worked with Genevieve now.
I hope so.
But because because she's someone that I've always picked an interest in, and I've always followed her story, and because it resonates with me,
and that's fair.
I can understand.
That's fair. Messi or Ronaldo?
Messi.
What's your club, first of all? Let me guess.
It's Chelsea. I'm a Chelsea fan.
Okay.
Now, this Messi one, I have to tell you why.
Okay.
Because we have them in our industry.
Oh.
We have the Messis, we have the Ronaldos. See, our Yoruba core actors are the Messis of this world, of this our work. Our language films, it comes to them so easily. You don't get your experience now. Allow. The language is there.
Oh, the mastery.
The mastery is there. So it is foolish of us to think that we can come now and come and say that because we know that they have it.
Oh yeah. The
So
poetry.
I call them the Ronaldo, the Messis.
The Messis.
It doesn't mean that we are not Messi. So I'm going there.
God have mercy.
Now, the Ronaldos are the ones who put in the work to be able to stand at par.
Match.
That is where we belong, in that realm. But in our own zone, we are the Messi.
I'm okay.
Now, in our own zone, some of these people will not be able to stand.
Yeah.
You get it?
Yes.
And the earlier we understand that, the better for all of us.
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 Because now you remind me of the conversation we had when we were shooting along. You know that conversation. So yeah, I agree. I agree. Yeah.
But because Messi doesn't think, and that is how it is for me, and I know it is for you too, because I work with you. I do not think. Give me a script. I look beyond. That's why I say I prefer Shorinka. Say these things. I'm going back to some of these things that I've said.
It's okay.
Because I will not think of it on the surface that you have given me.
The layers.
You can't tell me a character, who's a character? A character determined by what he says of himself, what the player says about him, and what other people say about him. Bullshit. Of course, those facts are there.
Yeah,
But there's a lot more to all of these things. Because it is why some of the actors are lazy. Yeah. Because all you do is base your level of intelligence and characterization on the premise of what you have written on paper.
There's one thing to also have the intelligence to be able to decipher. Because sometimes it's there, but if you're not deep, you can't see it.
There's something called reading in between the lines. There's those subtext, those things that you now have to find, to add, so that you're not just coming based on what is on paper. You also bring something that is what Messi does. Ronaldo, those are the hard workers. We are, unfortunately, those of us in the theater are hard workers.
Oh, yeah, definitely, of course, we had.
So that's why I said we are a mix of.
And not to
Messi and
not to be a downer for those who work in film, because low-key, I feel like film is quite challenging.
It is.
Yeah.
Any work of art is challenging.
I mean,
actually.
yeah. Okay, what makes acting for film challenging for me? So the thing I've come to find is what I don't like is shooting out of sequence. So with
We had this conversation.
You know, with theater, you know how the story goes, so you know how the pacing per scene will be.
So your emotions can be channeled from
Yeah.
scene 1, act 1, scene
You
1, act
know.
1, scene 2, act 2, scene 3, until the end.
Exactly. But then when you're shooting,
That is where I agree with you that
Office.
film is extremely challenging, because if you shot this scene now where you're supposed to give this kind of emotion, and then you go back and shoot this kind of emotion,
and then you're thinking,
and then you have to now go back.
yes, does it match?
But no, it doesn't just have to be, does it match? You have to match it.
But sometimes, so now that's the thing. Maybe on that day you're shooting the second scene, maybe the mood or maybe light or location didn't allow you to do what you had to do for that scene, and then you have to now shoot the preceding scene, and then it's like, what you were? How come it's not? And that's not your. I mean,
It's not your.
it's
But
what it is.
unfortunately for us, we have to find that balance.
That's the hard work.
That's what I'm saying.
But for
the
theater,
question you asked is challenging. But theater is not easy.
and of course, it's not easy.
It's not easy.
But
because there's a steady flow.
Yes.
You know,
So you
until
know.
the climax where we
Yeah.
can both agree that okay, this is it. But for film, you don't have that. You can start with scene 1, go and shoot scene 70.
Yo.
So I'll give you an example. The first day of this shoot I'm doing, this one
this
at
one in
Babaja. So I saw the call sheet and I saw scene 70. I'm alone in the scene. I have like 4 pages of lines, Yoruba and English, and like I understood the importance of it. So I got to set. I called the producer, called the director, and called the first AD. I said, "How do you wake up in the morning and decide to start, and then there are days since that scene is night, and then you decide to start a day like this, first day."
I got a story I have a similar story.
And they were like, no, we know you can do it. I said, I'm not saying I will not do it.
What?
I'm
Is it
just
right?
saying that as we film, we grow. As we film, we see certain things that we can change. Now, ordinarily, they wanted to film that scene in my house, in Babaja's house. But I cannot film it in the house because the scene is so heavy that it has to be, I think it must be filmed at the gravesite, at the graveyard, at the cemetery. Because that is the core of the story. And I said, okay, they are coming. And I told the director later that Alpha, he said, no, we cannot shoot it. Now, don't get it wrong. Actor for hire, I would have done it. And I think I would have tried to do my utmost best. But I know within myself that if we had shot it and I'm asked to go and shoot it at that cemetery, the performances can never be the same.
So when I did Far From Home, there is this scene where my character, Michael, tells Ishaya to get the fuck out of his house. And that scene, from the script, I knew that scene was going to be a very seminal scene. I'm telling him he paints at my house. He lives at my house, literally. So we share a home. And he's my best friend. And that scene, I'm telling him to leave my house. And I know it's going to be very emotional because he's beating me because of him anyway. And I remember preparing for that scene. We did that scene in the evening. And I'm ready to go in there. I'm already, even from rehearsals, I was tearing up and everything. In there, joke, the scene. Next thing, 80 just passed my front, talked to the director, they said they can't shoot the scene again that day. I'm like, wait, what? I'm there, and you're going to tell me, and then they rescheduled for, I think, a week after. And now it's like, because I'd seen where I'd gone with that character, and that scene already before. Now it's the thing of, can I match what I'd done before, or how do I play it like I'm playing it for the first time? I try to use music, I try to get in that character. Oh yeah, let's go to set. Enter into the cast bus. As I reach gate, I call say, you can't shoot the scene again that day. It was about maybe 3 weeks or a month after. One evening, we just gisting in the residence. We just saw email, first scene the next day will be that scene. Like, how am I going to shoot that heavy scene first thing in the morning? How do I get into that headspace? And I remember telling my friend, I said, I did one scene, one thing that's going to come out. I can't tell you this stuff because I'm under NDA, but let me apologize to you guys because I don't think I did a good job. Because I knew where that scene could have gone. Where it could have gone. But because of, this out of sequence thing I'm talking about, I'd gone over it. Like, I'm for this thing. So to now try to force yourself back into that headspace. Sure, I did it, Sha. So when the audience is like, that scene was so touching, and my mind, I'm like, you guys have no idea. I wish you guys knew what I was gonna do with that scene. But then you know sometimes what you think would work may actually not work. Sometimes less is more. And I'm so glad that it came out.
Not sometimes, actually. I think most times less is more.
More can be nice sometimes.
So let me tell you how it is. When I say less is more, most times it's the magic if. It's the miracle of the magic if.
A miracle.
It's a miracle. The magic if is a miracle. But not everybody understands it.
By the way, shout out to Carrie the Castle for directing that scene. It was the one that just told me, you know what? Let's go. Just don't try and go there. You can just say it normally.
You get?
Yeah.
It's a magic if. It's a miracle. The miracle that is meant to happen if you understand that miracles can happen. There are times when you don't have to overthink it, overwork it. I'm telling you, because if you do, you go try.
When you're coming from theater, if you are used to rehearsing and going over it again, you want to make sure you get it right.
But overthinking and overworking is not about rehearsing or going through it all. It's about how
do I want to kill it? Like, not be by killing.
Now, maybe it's because of experience now and because, I just look at it and I told myself that I always do that. We've shot it. I told you that now. Remember when you came to me for this scene? When we look at it, I said, Moshood, we've shot it.
We're going there,
We've shot it doesn't mean that. Because we haven't done it. But I'd gone to look at it, I looked at it, we're spoken, and looked at it. We shot it. You know why? Because I didn't want to preempt.
Yeah, the moment.
The moment. But we already had an understanding of where we are going to, what we want to do. Okay?
That one. I definitely on that one, you're right. All right. Barrister or Collington?
Sunny Ade or Ebenezer Obey?
I was going to initially do Aaron Shola or Ayinla Omowura.
I would have picked Aaron Shola.
Oh, really?
Now, of course, I listen to Barrister, I listen to Collington, but they're not things my father listened to when I was growing up. So it's more of Obey and Sunny Ade. And I grew up to love Sunny more. Because Obey, I still have those turntable stuff.
I have
Obey later became a Christian musician.
I never
gospel
music
artist.
Like I connected to
so I'm nothing against him. He's a legend.
It's
but
okay.
I just think that doesn't your artistry does not take away from your religion.
And gospel music is valid, child.
Yeah,
that one.
it is, yeah.
Thames or Arasta?
But like, whatever cool. You know the reason why? I don't listen to music anymore as I used to. But I like Arasta. So
she's cute.
I like her. She's cute.
Yeah,
and
she's
then
cute. I mean, Thames is fine.
He did rush, where he be gone.
Okay.
I mean, I like this.
Come on.
Yeah, so.
And finally, for this part, it's an acting question, trick-ish acting question. Comedy or romance?
Comedy.
I haven't seen him in a comedy though.
You know why? Because I'm a hopeless romantic. And it is sometimes hard for you to be what you are in film.
Is it?
I swear to God.
Talk to me about that.
So let me tell you. So people see me, they say, hard guy. I'm a hard guy.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm a hopeless romantic.
I mean, you're a husband, you're a father.
No, beyond that. I'm the kind of guy who will wake up, who used to cook breakfast in bed for my girlfriend.
I mean, and you cooked for us on the set of there. That's true.
No, I do all of that.
Yeah.
But what you ask me to do is in film. There's no level of method acting. No? I don't know how.
Maybe. Okay, let me just guess.
Because that is me.
Hypothesis. I think you have your way of being romantic that maybe people cannot relate to.
Actually. Because I'm the kind of guy who will probably wake up, see you're on this party wash, you know, cook for you, make sure you're fine. You know, but you see, I'm all about PDA sometimes. I mean, just this. But there's just that thing about how we conceptualize what romance is.
Yes.
What intimacy is that does not resonate with me. So, Now, it doesn't mean that, I mean, I've done some films where that had to happen. But even me, I know that if it was to be me, if I was to go by the magic if,
Yeah.
about this is Olarotimi, this is this woman, how is he going to do it?
Yeah.
I'll do it differently.
And that's okay.
But then the script doesn't say you can do it that way. So that's where the problem is for me. So, but I like comedy a lot. People don't think I'm funny, but I think I am.
Yeah, but yeah, because you crack us up every time.
I think I am.
Yeah.
And that's what people don't say. When people see me, they say the hard guy ID. I'm not a killer, I forgot. Well, to your long, I'm somebody's child. I'm a gentleman.
I mean, yeah, but speaking of romance, it's something that even, because I haven't really done stuff in those genres, but there are genres
But
that,
you did now.
that I, which one?
That stuff I saw.
Really?
And let me tell you my favorite part. When he said, do you love me?
Oh, that.
You know that every time you're about to get somewhere, you just open your mouth and
Yeah.
he said,
Yeah.
she loves me. You love me.
So that part, Kiss of Death, yes.
I didn't want to mention the title because I didn't know if I could mention it.
No, it's okay. That part was actually improv. That last part was improv. And Terry, he's an Irish director. He's a stickler to lines. You can't add and or so to the lines. The way the lines are the way you have to deliver them. And I like that discipline. So the last line I had, I said, well, let me just do it, cha. And then he just said, that was beautiful, I liked it. I said, thank God. So when he made it to the final cut, I said, wow. And it was beautiful to see.
I saw myself in it, so I can understand it because...
And it was honest.
That's it.
It was honest.
That's it.
Which is what I hope to do when I tackle romantic roles. To not do the typical...
stereotype.
Yeah, because romance you can be a grumpy person who doesn't smile and be the most romantic person just in your act of service.
I think it's not like that in Hollywood. I think it's how we are as a people, how we see it as a people. I mean, I don't see people play. There's a watch don't do romantic guy now.
Yo.
And they do him.
Yo.
And I believe him. I didn't believe him because, but
the action speaks for itself. Like you can just see it's
even
obvious.
this my favorite guy. How can I forget his name now?
Black?
No, this is old. The guy that did Taken.
Who did you take in?
Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson doing romance?
Freaking out. Yeah.
Whoa, that's
Honest
cool.
Thief. Have you not seen that
I
scene?
haven't seen it. What?
Please,
Please, can someone mark it so I can see the
Honest Thief.
Honest Thief. Please, I can see it after.
When I saw that, I said, so this guy can be this romantic.
I mean, he's a human being,
All
of course,
along.
man.
He's a human being. So everybody has their own point of.
They are
But
unique.
in Nigeria, in Nollywood,
They want you to do that.
there's a certain way that a husband must behave in a certain way. A wife must
A
behave in a
father,
certain way.
a mother.
Yeah.
It's that thing at which I feel it's inimical to performances and characters. The color is now, there's only one way to play it.
It is what makes their box of it, so give it to them. If you cannot give it to them, let them find someone else.
They'll be fine, I beg. Well, I mean, there's that, and then for comedy. So, in my house, I'm very funny. I believe I'm funny. I mean, I can be witty, but I'm scared that Nollywood will not be able to relate to. And also, I think.
And because the level of wit,
But,
not everybody can. Like I say to Tayo Fanny all the time.
That's one cool guy. We worked together once. Yeah, he's a cool. Ooh, that's one person. That's one cool guy.
He can crack up.
Yes.
Jeez.
Yes, that guy.
So I said, please now, I beg in the name of God, have your own stand-up comedy show. Because I don't think
it's easy on him. Yeah.
I know how Tayo just comes into a circle and just says one thing. And,
yeah.
you know?
Yes.
So it's just those kind of things that we do not find, but
that we don't treasure in the
industry. It's so everybody will write and they'll write romance. He's in love because of his physique and everything.
That's where I was even
but
going
Tayo is witty.
And that's what's inside him, not the physical. It's what's inside him.
Now imagine Tayo getting a script like that. It go explode.
Yo, but hopefully he has a director that will allow him.
Well, once the script comes out, if it is comedy and Tayo is playing it, I think it will be fine.
And I think it's also in the writing, because I feel like with Nollywood, the pressure for comedy is usually on the actors, not on the writing. And really, it's in the way you write it.
Actually, because now you write, you could bring.
Because look at someone like Liam Neeson. Now I didn't even know that he could.
Are you joking?
You know, and then to hear this, So definitely it's in there. Although some people have that natural bug, child, that one.
Like this ice road that I saw recently with him and his brother and all of that.
Oh.
I mean, reminiscing for me is
Nice.
a case study for me. So when people tell you that you cannot be a villain and play it in certain different ways, it's a fucking big lie, bro.
Yo.
Let's move on.
So let's go to back to Olarotimi Fakunle. I saw Mike, I said, this name is so unlike the hard guy that we know Fakunle to be.
Well, Michael is an archangel, so he has to be a warrior. He has to be a hard guy.
But before then, we on the streets, we in theater knew you as Olarotimi Stanislavski. That's a very strong name to have. Like Olarotimi Constantine Stanislavski.
It's a mistake.
That's a huge
It's
thing
a
on your
mistake.
shoulders.
It's a mistake.
How did that name come about?
So me, I always like to do, even for in my directing days, because I still direct for theater, to what is true and beautiful. So the originality and the truth in my work is modeled after the concept of Stanislavski.
Of course, that's
unfortunately, I cannot change it. Because I believe that art can only speak to people when it is original, when it is true.
Honest, yeah.
When it is honest. Now, I mean, all this form of exaggeration, even from I used to have conversations and arguments with my lecturers about certain things, about particularly how an actor should speak, how an actor should deliver lines. If it doesn't resonate with you, you cannot bring it out. A man cannot give what he does not have. And the earlier we begin to apply that to theater and to film, the easier it's going to be for everybody. A man cannot give what he does not have.
And I think sometimes you have to grow into certain roles. I'm going to... This talk is a long talk, Sha, but like, because... I want to quickly go to... Because, I mean, time is of the essence. Death and the King's Horseman. I know you did the play in 2009 at Little Terra. Yes, now. Yes, you did it in 2009, and then we did this together in 2021. So that's 10 years between. I first knew about the play in 200 level, 2011. So between that time and when we did it again was, I think, 10 years.
Whoa.
So my question to you now is, how did those 10 years from the first time, how did age influence the way you approached it the second time when we did it?
Experience, understanding, understanding of words, of the Yoruba cosmology, of literature. Eleshoba, what tryst is this that the cockerel goes to keep?
That he lives.
That he must leave his tail behind. A tryst where the cockerel needs no adornment.
Oh.
Age, experience. I understood that with age, certain things will come to you naturally. And you will know that. So, not if, when, because BP will do this play again in a short while.
I'll be happy to do that again.
When she does it, you will understand what I'm saying. The difference will be there because age and experience also has come into play.
Yeah. I'll tell you a short story. So, Sonny Level. Do you know Felix Omarua?
Yes. He used to own pitch theater at NCAC. Those are the people who were way back.
A lecturer at Unilag, if I went to Unilag. So he was my supervisor for that particular course where I was director. And so he called me in to talk about the play. He just said, okay, tell me the characters in the play. I mean, I'm like, I directed something in first year, we got an A. So I was like the star director. I'm like, why are you asking me characters in it? Of course, I would know these things now. I started talking, we have Yellowja, we have Eleshonba, we have Pilkin, and then like we have I mispronounced the name. I said we have Olundi. And he said, what? That is not the pronunciation. And I asked him, sir, what's the correct pronunciation? He said, I won't tell you. Go and find out. Ask around. Nobody in my department had done it for like 5 years for that time, so nobody would tell me. I go on the internet trying to find performances, and then I just find some random number of someone from then. I call the person. You won't believe who it was. Good afternoon, sir. My name is Moshood Fattah from PFA Lorry, and we are doing a play titled this, and I'd like to know what the correct pronunciation of the name is. It's Olunde. Guess who it was? Rocco Wenla.
Olunde.
And I'm like, and the fact that I got to work with him this year, so for me it was a full circle moment, like, look at how Which for me is why people say school is a scam, school is a scam. School for me is not a scam because a lot of what I'm standing on today
It's based on
what,
that.
that experience, and to think that the name I went through stress to find out and I got to play that character 10 years later, and I'm coming to that play with 10 years of experience, having read the play, having known all the characters, knowing the stakes and everything. The way we approached that play was magical. I must say it was phenomenal.
I mean, not because not because we were in it. I mean, I've done it in
Yes.
2009.
Yeah.
But that was the best. I've seen a couple of performances after that.
Patrick tried as election, but so I saw him do it too.
I didn't say it. I'm just saying that this version was.
That's how we do
version.
No, it was something. It was a moment. And speaking on that, I remember there is this scene. I don't know if you remember that story. That day I told you, I'm going to give you something this evening. Whatever I give you, just take it. And he just said, okay, no, voila. And it was a bead. It was a bead because my character was in a suit. And I'm like, this guy is too Western. Can we give him something to ground him back home? And then myself and Juliana did the costumer. We said, okay, let's do a bead. And the backstory will be that it's my father's bead. When Pilkins was trying to take me out of the house, I took that bead as a keepsake to remind me of home. So when I hear your voice and I'm disappointed and you hold me, I just take it. And I remember the audience that day was, even your reaction, I couldn't see it, but I felt the way you broke down. Like I could feel that energy. I drop it and I say, I have no father, eater of leftovers. And then you implode. And I remember the entire audience was just gone. Oh, don't do that. But for me, I think that was a privilege to be able to give you something. And then, because some actors would be like, no, don't surprise me on stage or don't give me anything. But to take something from me and take it and run with it and make it a magical night. Anybody who was in that audience that day, they saw magic.
You know how this work takes so much from you? Sometimes that's... When you think about it, you cannot get it back.
That's theater.
There are certain parts of my life that I don't think I can get back. It's okay.
Let's drink. But I'm grateful that I got to experience that with you. And I hope we can do that play again, actually. I really hope we can do it again. I want to ask one very, very funny question. It's still on Horseman. So myself and Tobi Awoshika were talking about Gladiator 2. Denzel is in it, and Denzel is one of the greatest actors ever. And now I'm like, Denzel did Macbeth. What advice would you give Denzel if you were to play Eleshamba?
Walai Kuleshi.
Denzel will answer you.
I'm going to tell you why. There's something about Yoruba cosmology that you have to understand. But let me know, Sanaka cannot do it here. This is my mentor, my role model.
Because some
people call me Denzel. Like that they said when I went to do audition, that they told David that I've seen my Denzel.
Oh, that's a high compliment, man. That's a high compliment.
So there's just someone I hold. But I think you need to understand the language. You need to understand the culture. You need to go through. And it's a lot of work. It's not something you can do in 1 year. It's something that you have to learn and unlearn and relearn. So it has to go through that process for you to understand it.
So you also don't think Idris Elba can play a Concord in Things Fall Apart?
No.
Oh.
If he goes to live in the East for 2 years.
I know, right?
I'm telling you the truth.
You have to put in that Daniel Day-Lewis
Do you get? Yes. You have to go.
Yeah.
You have to go.
Well, that's it,
you have to go. It's about the dedication of the actor too. Go through it.
That's just teacher, to be honest.
It's like saying I should go and do. There are things I'm an actor. I'm an actor's actor. I know. But there are things I look at and say, but before I go do this thing, I need to take the time to. I don't deceive myself.
Talking of, I learned that you played Legica Brown.
Yeah.
My husband has got mad again. I played it twice in school. First year and third year. First year was great. Third year was bad. It was horrible. That's the lowest moment of my career. I'm ashamed. And it's a tough role to play.
Yeah.
And right now...
It's comedy. Don't forget.
And it's challenging.
I enjoyed it.
Like you have
it's
to...
Physical theater. It's physical theater.
That scene with party members, to go from this to this to this, that scene, what it takes for me as an actor.
It's a lot.
How did you manage to do that character?
So, you know how... Morias be with you. So what I would do is, when everybody go, I was fortunate that it was done.
Who directed first of all?
Olarotimi.
Directed you?
No. It was it was my friend.
Okay.
One guy. Was William Obasi.
Okay.
But you know how it is when you bring an actor. It's good. You went to University of Abuja. Okay. When you bring an actor that you bring an actor director to come and act in your play. Both of you are going to share ideas.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
There was that thing, but I mean, kudos to him. But like I told him, are you done blocking? Just let me go. So I had to create each of those characters in my room. I had to rehearse it. This thing, I think I have it on tape.
Wow.
Bro,
it's hard. It's hard.
That is the work that people don't see that we put in.
But at least we can talk about it now so they can know that, man, we don't play around this. Like, we work. The last theater-ish question I want to ask, I learned that you once performed at National Stadium.
Yes, 1999.
First of all, let me ask that question. Hello, Mike.
No.
How did you do that?
I don't know.
What?
Yeah.
Because why I'm asking that question?
Ryan Bonke came to Nigeria in 1999.
Oh.
So we did a dance drama, and it was African Junior Theatre, led by Victor Thompson Young. I was the assistant director. He was the director of the troupe at that time. And that was my first professional performance. I haven't been under training for a couple of years, so it was a lot.
Because I'm asking, I want to ask you.
I felt sick.
But theater, stadium like me. But my question is, what's your favorite theater space to perform in Nigeria?
Theater culture.
Really? Why?
It's home.
Of course, it
because
is home.
when we didn't have the space, theater was there.
My favorite space to perform in is, and it's funny I'm saying this, but Ajib Recital. I
have performed there several times.
Something about Ajib Recital.
Even before the entire culture.
I mean, because it's been around forever.
But the space, for me. You see, a space where you have the ability to hone your craft, to polish your craft. Week in, week out. Week in, week out.
On Sunday?
Week in, week out. Yeah, theater Sundays. All the 4 Sundays. Each show.
Yeah.
One play per Sunday. It was mad training. God bless Wale Oguntokunbo. God bless you. One play every Sunday.
And then you have to go. You have to get in there.
We still have to do set. We have to.
Talking of Wale Oguntokunbo, I think he gave me the most profound line I've heard in Nigerian theatre came from his mouth. I don't know if it was Tarzan monologues. Maybe you remember. At the end of the play, he comes on stage with his walking stick.
It's Tarzan.
Oh, I'm good. And then he said the line, he said, the older you get, the more powerful your friends are.
Yeah, the more powerful your friends are.
That line hit me like wait, what is this line? And then growing up now into like...
The older you get, the more powerful your friends are, bro.
I'm like, that's a line that's a solid line. That's a solid line, and I'm going to always be. I mean, it's sad that he left what he did.
Yeah.
But I mean, at least we have you here. We have us. We have all of you people from the theater. It's a beautiful thing to see. Okay, now into film. You ready?
You upset me.
I don't want you to cry, but this question: what's the earliest movie you remember seeing that made you emotional?
See. I think movie. You say movie. It's Titanic.
No. Me too. What? Me too. I swear down.
I tried to keep my emotion in check.
What the hell?
I tried it.
It was Titanic.
I was kind of like a fool.
Jack.
Now I wanted today. I was saying
Jack. I'm like
Jack. No guesses.
Yo. No. That was
Jack. No guesses.
Oh my God.
No. No guesses.
But as a child, because I remember watching that thing on the computer. I don't know why I remember watching it on the computer, but I remember it was when I was still very, very young. And I couldn't believe that I was crying for a film. Like, what am I crying for a film?
If you watch it now, you still cry.
Yo,
There's something
I dread
about
it though. I dread it. I dread it. I
There's
watch the
something
beats,
about it. There's something about
the directing, the acting, and just
yeah.
the purity
You
of
can
the
connect. You can
yes.
connect with the situation. So you can.
Man, you're famous now.
Am I?
You know this.
I don't.
How are you handling things?
I don't think I'm famous. I don't want to. I don't want to.
Don't be humble, yeah.
No, it's not. It's
But
not.
yeah.
It's not ability.
That wasn't on scene.
No, don't do that. So I still try to live my life. Even though my manager, my employer fights me a lot. I still try to be who I am. I find it difficult to disassociate myself from. It is hard though, because even me, I'm seeing reasons with what he's saying, but it's just that I feel that some of us are too close to life and earth than we imagine. Bro, we've gone to shoot at places where some of these are so-called people cannot stand. And I will stand, not because they don't know me, but because there's this
You're grounded.
aura, there's this connection. That I've saved certain shows. You know now, Slum King, you know how it is when I'm going to shoot in places where there was no security. I'll go and meet those guys, the Alpha. Proudly, I was king of boys in Yanoba for 2 years at least.
Okay, talk about that is going
to
leak. No, you can't even dodge it.
I'm just telling you.
Because my next question is paper boots.
So it means
I get you cannot run away.
so it means I know my street and my street knows me. So what it means is you have to be part of. You can't. So fame is no. Think I'm like say you're famous or like hey you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get you.
Just be you.
Just be. For me, I carry myself more with the sense of who my parents are than me being an actor, and I'm saying that obviously there's a price to it, but then the omoluabi aspect to it is very important. How you conduct yourself with those who are younger, those who are your peers, those who are older. That's wisdom in knowing how to speak, knowing what to say, knowing how to make people comfortable, knowing how to carry yourself is very, very important.
And not to get angry when people come and meet you that I for alone that man will film alone YouTube.
That's even see me safe. Yeah, that's even.
But I'll tell them that. So if you watch my film on YouTube, you mind saying, say you mock when you came out for me alone.
Actually, I appreciate your.
And you see there's a certain way you can speak to these people, and then they just
because they're humans.
And I'll still go there after one Babylon disappear and tell them I'm lost because but I cannot disassociate myself from them.
And also because our work is we are portraying real life people. So you have to be connected to the real life people to do their work.
I don't want to talk about Gang of Lagos because I told them this thing. That team went to shoot in Obalende. That didn't follow us.
No.
Remember? It was Mr. Movies that shot it.
Wow.
That scene where I was sitting on the car, smoking and stuff. Bro. She was doing, I think we had 2 units. We went to shoot from somewhere else. All the things I drank in that scene, all the things I smoked in that scene were real. Bro. But I had to do it so that we can film and get the fuck out of this place. Because it was getting uneasy.
So in that same line, I want to talk about paper boots. For me,
that's the best work
that
I've
felt
done.
like the breakouts for me.
But it wasn't it,
What
do you think is breakout for you? Even for me.
So for me, let me say crossover.
I mean, God bless Toka Magbara.
I want
for
to talk
even
about that
believing in me that because that thing took a lot. Paper boat.
Yo.
It took a lot.
But the look, the guns, so I'm like, what is happening? The look, I'm like, what is this?
Ammunition training for close to 1 month. I don't think I can even remember it anymore. Toka is a bastard.
Wow.
He's a bastard filmmaker.
I like his eye because the film looks different. It feels even your skin glistens different. Yeah.
You see where
it was solid work. For me, that was my crossover. I'm like, okay, now that's the moment.
That is the most challenging thing I've done in my life.
And it showed, but you did the work. I think of that role. I think of when I played Schoolboy in Fishbone. Fishbone was Edith F. Young, myself, Shafi Belu, Daniel Olarotimi F. Young. We shot in Makoko. And that was my first time in Makoko. So what I did when I got to that set, I just walked off by myself. Let me just even take in the environment so I can know whether to play up or play down, so I can play within that reality. Because sometimes you tend to overdo gritty characters, you overdo and say, but like hard guy no busy by shouting sometimes.
Nah.
It's an aura that you have to naturally just take in and then go with it. Well, let me just give you a roses because you did the work on that one, Sha. So yeah, I gotta talk about Gangs of Lagos. I gotta talk about it. You know, Kazim, that name Kazim means, it's an Arabic word, but in English it means someone who controls his anger. And doesn't act on it. And that,
I didn't do that. I didn't go to that length. Nah.
But it's the irony of it is, for me, I find it very funny. But I had to learn how to be a butcher.
Yes, I'm still a butcher till date by the grace of God through that experience.
And remind me, my father is one person that I don't know anybody who knows how to price meat like my father. He knows, as a Muslim, killing ram.
Nobody can buy meat more than me in this life. Right now.
What does it feel like to know what the inside of an animal looks like? As you know it so well.
It's heaven.
It sounds so dangerous right now.
I don't chop rubbish for my life.
Oh my God.
You are who don't. I'm not joking, no. There are things they will sell to you when you go to buy food. I don't know if I should say. I'm a spoiling business.
Yeah, so
if you know what you're eating.
Let's talk about. So that was a scene that for me felt like a huge moment. You in the barber shop sitting across Pasuma. That Pasuma is Lagos. That's an iconic figure. What did it feel like to be in that thing, Pasuma?
You should go and sit down.
God, what happened?
There's island, there's mainland. He is island and mainland.
But it was a nice scene.
I love the scene. When I'm saying
an iconic scene,
when we talk about Lagos, we talk about it as if island is the epitome of everything, the last of everything. There's island, there's mainland. And where the mainland where I come, because I have a physical evidence experience of what happened in that barber shop. When I was in Lasso, of somebody that was killed in a barber shop like that.
Oh. Exclusive. Wow.
No.
Wow.
It's not a...
Wow.
That was the only place they could have taken the person down. When he was cutting his hair. That was the only place.
Wow.
And it happened, I was in the barber shop. I was the Bolaji in the barber shop.
Oh my God. Let me just... let me do this. I dúpẹ́ ara ẹni. Sórí. Gbogbo àwọn tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ lábẹ́ mi pátápátá ni mo ń tọ́jú. Mo lè ṣe ń tọ́jú wọn tí mo ń lejú sí wọn. Bí ẹláyà wọn rè kí mo lejú sí mi. That scene, I saw evil sit so gallantly in your eyes. I said, who is this demonic figure? But, because I did a short film with Moses Ipadiola, with Amanda from Malawi as well. And I played an evil person. And I know what it means to have evil sit in your eyes and to inhabit evil. Evil is fun to play.
It is actually.
What do you feel like to be that evil?
It is. I feel like God. I don't care what you do. You can do it. I know you will do it. I will wait for you at the end.
And I think it's the freedom that you can do whatever you like. There's that freedom to like.
There's no force about it. Do the shit you want to do. I'm just warning you that if you can help yourself. I
thought that boy, what's his name? Chiki?
Yeah.
I thought he did a good job. I haven't seen much of his work, but I thought he did a very good job on that as well. Where would you like to see the Nigerian film and theatre industry in the next 5 to 10 years? And what role do you hope to play in its evolution?
Nigerian film?
And theatre.
That's a Nigerian film?
And
Hollywood standard. Nigerian theatre, Broadway standard. Where also the actors and crew. Well looked after, and there's a structure of royalties for all of them.
That's important to me. And I think that's one thing that we don't talk about enough as an industry, because we're all tight-lipped about how much we earn. We're not really open to.
Like if you get an ACL injury from a set, for instance,
like you have right now.
If it was ruptured, I knew how much my manager would have spent on it.
No.
Thank God it wasn't ruptured.
God.
Yeah, because we don't have those facilities in place. We don't have those things in place to fix it.
Funny enough, but
I didn't tell him. After I knew that it was better.
Wow.
I told him. I knew he was going to be upset.
Far from home, we had insurance though.
Moving on.
Okay, but what part do you hope to play in taking us from here to?
Of course, is to keep doing what I'm doing. It's also to produce my own stuff, to do groundbreaking stuff, basically, and to mentor the next. That for me, it's all about mentoring. I think that is one of the things that I know that God has placed in my hands. To mentor people coming behind me, to teach, to instruct them, and to make people better, so that you can stand at par. People say they can't do audition. I mean, I audition for Beast of No Nation. Yeah. And I can tell you, if I be face, I go for makeup. I still go back to what my audition tape,
Yeah, like,
to the performance I saw on screen.
I do it too.
I like me.
Yeah, like
Forget.
Alpha. But then there's the commerce of it, and then that's just another.
Yeah.
And that thing entirely.
Because I got the second audition to do.
Oh.
I got
so
I knew that it wasn't as if
I'm hoping that we can get writing right.
Writing right.
I'm hoping we can get sound right.
Yeah.
For someone, so I'm from the theater. I have to confess, I don't like projecting. I don't enjoy projecting. I feel like it's stressful. And one of the reasons why I enjoyed working at Terra Culture when I did, that's my part, was that with the mics. Shout out to Michael and Emmanuel and Sheye. When the guy knows how to do your sound,
The emotions are there. You don't have to.
You don't have to, and then you can now play the other notes that you can't do when you're doing manual.
Is what I say.
You can whisper, you can do other things. Yeah.
There's some emotions that they'll find it.
I pay we do, shall I pay we do. To end this, I want us to end.
There must be a part two.
No, look, I came prepared. I mean, I'm talking to you. I have to.
My bad here,
I want us to end with theater, with something that you like. Once again, I'll not straight to you, but I know that because I trust you. I know that you are going to be. If I start, you are not you. If I say, Ojalaye.
Ajulaye.
Hey. Ojalaye.
Ajulaye. Till we kick the bucket, the world is a market. Ojalaye.
Thank you. This was fun. Look, I have more questions to ask, but we don't have time.
Thank God, say time saved me.
Yeah, no, but I told you are safe now.
But I'm going to say something. Let me say that I think too. Moshood, I said to you when we were shooting along, by the second time I get to play with you closely, second and only time.
Hi, for now,
Because we not had time. No, that was going to come.
down.
Most definitely. And you're one of the most dedicated actors I've met in terms of craft, discipline, and talent.
Thank you.
And it is easy to play with you.
It's easier to play with you.